RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, personality profiles, professional wrestling video blogs, sports video blogs, entertainment video blogs, MBTA video blogs, and tons more. Collection of my work going back to 2014 on various social media sites, so check it out. RVBN, Billerica, Massachusetts. Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog subject of the night for Wednesday, December 28, 2016, around 8:20 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. 31 degrees out right now. Going to be clear skies into the overnight hours when it clouds up. Beginning tomorrow around noontime, the northeast is going to hit, but most of eastern Massachusetts will be spared of very, very significant snow. You have to go west of 495 into southern New Hampshire and Maine and Vermont to see the big time snow. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Chicago Blackhawks have re-signed forward Armenian Panarin to a 2-year contract extension with an average annual salary of $6 million. Say a prayer to actress singer Debbie Reynolds. She was rushed to the hospital of what is reported to be a stroke. Debbie Reynolds has had a kind of a hard time, probably since her daughter Carrie Fisher's health problems, which ended in her passing yesterday. And the city of Malden, Massachusetts is on the verge of constructing a minor league baseball facility. Originally it was supposed to be built 4 or 5 years ago. It was going to get an independent team, but they're looking to have a major league baseball affiliated team, and they might go to like AAA or AA, the International League or the Eastern League. And if they get the stadium, it's probably not going to be affiliated with the Boston Red Sox because they already have affiliations in Providence for AAA and AA Portland, and they're not going to move them. So it's probably going to be a team, another team. I wonder if it's going to draw if it's not associated with the Red Sox. Wait and see about that. That's about it on news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my third and final video blog subject of the night. Get out. You're so sweet because they're cute. The more the merrier. Go find something to do. I know. I'm doing good. Are you writing a book? Time to move on, Richie. Sodium. I got places to go, people to see, things to do. RVBN. Great quotes. I'm back. My third and final video blog subject of the night is the continuation of reviewing every Madison Square Garden house show for the WWE from December 1983 to March of 1992, kind of like the last 8.5 years of them showing house shows on the MSG network. I'll be doing this on a constant basis for the next several months, and this is a third house show I'm reviewing. Gonna review 2 more, then it goes away for a week, but it will come back for next week, periodically. Tonight's house show I'm going to be reviewing will be the Madison Square Garden house show card from this February 20th, 1984. The main event was on this card was Hulk Hogan defending the WWE Championship against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It was his first Madison Square Garden title defense. Plus, there was other exciting matches. The announcers for this were Gorilla Monsoon and Pat Patterson, with Vince McMahon conducting backstage interviews. They were pre-taped, and it was shown on the MSG Network and USA Network. The first match was Jose Luis Rivera against Charlie Fulton. These were 2 jobbers. Jose Luis Rivera was getting a minor push, And Jose Luis Rivera won this match when he gave Charlie Fulton a small package in about 7 minutes or so. The next match was B. Brian Blair making his Madison Square Garden debut against Iron Mike Sharpe, who's basically a jobber to the stars. It was back and forth, ending had Iron Mike Sharpe put his feet on the rope for the 1, 2, 3. This was a shocking upset because Iron Mike Sharpe basically never won matches on television like after 1983, and it was kind of not a good debut for B. Brian Blair. The next match was Alpha of the Wild Samoas with Captain Lou Albano in his corner facing off against Tony Garea. And this was a competitive match, back and forth. Alpha wins in about 12 minutes with a chop and a headbutt to Tony Garea. Garea was basically becoming a jobber to the stars at this point. The next match was Eddie Gilbert facing off against the Iron Sheik with the Ayatollah Classy Freddie Blassie. This was kind of a total squash match as the Iron Sheik beats Eddie Gilbert in about 5.5 minutes with the Camel Clutch. I think this was one of the last appearances by Eddie Gilbert at Madison Square Garden. He never returned to the WWE, wrestling his remainder of his career in Southern wrestling territories. The next match was a tag team match. It was Roddy Piper and Dr. D, David Schultz, who was making his Madison Square Garden debut, teaming up to face off against Invader number 1 and Invader number 2, a masked team from Puerto Rico, and it was a back and forth match. Ending had the referee distracted Invader 1, and Piper was out, and Dr. DJ still delivered an elbow to Invader number 2 behind the referee's back, and Piper pins Invader number 2 for the 1, 2, 3. So it was a good win by Piper and Dr. DJ David Schultz. The next match was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It was the new Intercontinental Champion, Tito Santana, who won the belt 9 days earlier at Boston Garden, facing off against the Magnificent One, Don Morocco. The Magnificent One did not have Captain Lou in his corner. And this was about a 16-17 minute match. The ending had Morocco tied up in the ropes, and Tito Santana delivered a flying forearm, knocking the Magnificent Morocco outside the ring, and the referee counted to 10. Tito wins the match by countout, and he retains the title. Tito was getting positioned as the number 2 babyface in the WWE at this point. The next match was the Masked Superstar, who's Bill Eadie, facing off against the 7'4" 8 wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. And this was a typical Andre match. Like, Andre kind of dominates most of the match, with the Masked Superstar getting some offense in, but in the end it was Andre's big foot and hit the big splash for the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, Andre the Giant tried to unmask the Masked Superstar, but he ran. This was the Masked Superstar's last appearance at MSG as a Masked Superstar. He would come back 3 years later as Acts of Demolition. And then the next match was the main event for the WWE Championship. It was Hulk Hogan, the new WWE Champion, defending his title at the first time at Madison Square Garden with Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. This was about a 12-13 minute match. Hulk Hogan wins by count out by throwing Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff over the top rope, and Orndorff got counted out. Was an unimpressive title defense by Hulk Hogan, but in later years, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan would be a classic feud, and probably later on, we'll definitely review some Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff / Hulk Hogan matches that happened at Madison Square Garden, most likely in 1986 when we get there, which will be in a few months. The next match was Samula of the Wild Samoas facing off against Superfly Jimmy Snuka. It was about a 10-minute match. It was an awesome match, back and forth, but in the end, Superfly goes up to the top rope and splashes Samula for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd still liked Jimmy Snuka at this point, but he was kind of fading down the cards. And then the last match, which was, the de facto main event, because it was the last match on the card, it was Polish Power Ivan Putski, Rocky Johnson, and Tony Atlas, who were the WWE Tag Team Champions, facing off against Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. Fuji, and Tiger Chun Li. It was about a 6-minute match. Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. Fuji, and Tiger Chun Li argued a lot. It was distracting. In the end, Ivan Putski gives the Polish Hammer to Tiger Chun Li, pinning 1, 2, 3 afterwards. Mr. Fuji and Tiger Chun Li turn on Sergeant Slaughter, but Sergeant Slaughter claims house, eliminates them, and shake hands with Ivan Putski, Tony Atlas, and Rocky Johnson, and that's kind of the face turn for Sergeant Slaughter. And this Madison Square Garden house show was okay. Nothing to write home about for Hulk Hogan's first WWE title defense at the Garden. This is what a typical house show as Madison Square Garden would have around this time period. When I get through the later ones, then you'll get to see how it changes. Tomorrow, the next one will be the house show from 3/25/1984. And plus tomorrow, 2 more other video blogs. First will be the personality profile. The last personality profile of 2016 will be about former NBA player Latrell Sprewell, and the other video blog will be about the TV cable network Chilla, owned by NBC Universal. Like I always say, keep calm, everybody. And I'm a Julie Bunny guy. Molly Roseblood, WCCO, Roxanne has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Sweezy's awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX, Channel 11 New York, such a rocking cougar, got the best legs in New York City, bar none. Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent, best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. Jamie Hirsch of the NHL Network is so cute. She's got the best legs in the NHL Network. And Ren Claire of WHDA Channel 7 Boston, such a cutie pie. And she's got the best legs in Boston. And in the words of Deep Patel last week, no bus. Good night, everybody.